Hi everyone. You on listen to El Boogie. We're live. I haven't seen y'all in a minute. How y'all doing? It's a lot has gone on has been going on since the last time we were together. I've been really busy. I published my second book right here, Allegiance Misplaced: The Failure of Black Political Leadership. And it's failing. So if you could see what's going on in all the big cities run by black mayors, Chicago, New York, Dalton, Illinois, we have to be careful with using identity politics. We can no longer do that. But we are moving. We're moving in the right direction. We have a lot of work to do, but we're moving in the right direction. Excuse me. All right. Um, I'm in Georgia. It was record turnout in Georgia for early voting. I early voting started on a Monday. I voted probably the next day on Tuesday and got it out of the way. I'm a registered independent, but I cast my vote for Donald Trump, as did a lot of men in general and black men in particular. Um, he won by a landslide. I didn't think it would be close. The mainstream media and I think it was President Obama tried to prepare. They tried to prepare the American public for another 2020 election where um, it was close in the end, and it could have been some finagling and whatnot going on. And what happened happened. But this time, it was heavy voter turnout, and it was so it was so lopsided. There's nothing they could do. And what I will say, I flipped around to the different channels: MSNBC, CNN, Fox. Okay, 2 o'clock in the morning, Wisconsin called in and called in for Trump. And I went around to the other networks: CNN, MSNBC, CBS, or whatever, ABC. They wouldn't call the election then. They wouldn't call the election. The election was over at 2 o'clock in the morning. But I'm happy that we didn't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. There were still a lot of black men and black women that turned out for Kamala Harris, but it was enough for us to push the needle where it was supposed to go. I mean, it's about policies. It's not about how anybody looks. She was a would be, she was a would be black politician, and turns out we had someone to do some research and find out that she didn't really have any black people in her family tree. That's one thing. I guess eventually mainstream news will start reporting that. But for the last few weeks, per Candace Owens, we've kind of known that she wasn't black anyway. I think that had something to do with it. They weren't mainstream wasn't going to run it because they just weren't going to run it. But eventually, yeah, the discussion will come up. But it's a lot of fallout. People are going crazy. I was like, how could okay, there was an issue the last time about January the 6th, what happened, the quote unquote so-called insurrection or whatever. And people were upset uh, because their candidate didn't win. This time it's meltdowns all over mainstream media, on the View, they're having a hard time with it. But the American people have spoken. For election to be this lopsided, I think she had 212 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 300. I think he had 312, if I'm not mistaken. But he won the popular vote. He won every battleground state. She got mollywopped because you're not gonna continue to play in people's face. You know, I think everybody had that reason why they moved towards, voting for Trump. Mainly the economy, issues with the border. So now he's assembling his team. He also gained control of the Senate and regain control of the Congress. So he can get his people through whom he's he's announcing now, Secretary of State, what is whoever's over the staff, um, CIA, whoever's over, he's putting his people in place. We didn't fall for it this time. I think they needed us to fall. They needed us to fall in line one more time for some nonsense. He was see, with me, they try to thought the things that were black men were misogynistic, or we just don't want a woman leading and whatnot. No, that's not necessarily the case. And she showed it in the end that she didn't have a temperament for the position. So around 10 o'clock, when it's really when these precincts started sending their results in, and it started really kind of like looking lopsided. And he took Georgia and North Carolina. After that, she stopped communicating with the media. I think, these are my thoughts. I think she had a nervous breakdown, and I would say nervous breakdown, but she had a moment, and she had such a moment that she couldn't even come out to address the students at Howard University that was standing out there all the time waiting for her. So that shows right there that she isn't qualified for the job, because just because things don't go your way doesn't mean that you just fold up and not address people that's there to support you. I thought that was that wasn't good at all, and she shouldn't be well received again at Howard University, as far as I'm concerned. But I didn't feel like it was going to be close. A lot of people say, "Well, let me go to bed because when you get up tomorrow, we'll know, who's going to be president." But when that map started turning redder and redder and redder, and then they called Pennsylvania. When they called Pennsylvania, I was like, "That's it. Whoever won Pennsylvania usually win." But then he was like, he was at, I think he needed 3 electoral votes. And I think Nevada, no, was in Nevada. No, Alaska had just came in, and Alaska had 6 votes, 6 electoral votes. And Alaska didn't come in, but Wisconsin came in, and Wisconsin came in at 2 o'clock in the morning. That was it. So I started flipping around to the other channels, like, what? Okay, Fox called the election. What are y'all doing? They hold it on to hope. It's like a wino with that last little corner of Richard's wine in the bottom. And it's like they're trying to shake it, shake it and shaking it, so I can hit that last little corner, because they may not have another $3 until tomorrow afternoon to get another bottle. Hell to the dog, man. So hey, they this is a lesson, but they don't get it, and you can tell that the Democratic, the DNC they don't get it, because um they're defiant. They're still defiant, unapologetic. So we're gonna have to make this a habit for the next 5 or 6 election cycles, just for GP, just for general purposes. We're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to, um, you know, break them off because they're not gonna learn. She raised $1 billion and spent 1 billion 20 million because her campaign is $20 million in the hole. How can you spend $1 billion in less than 6 months? But I can see how. Um, Oprah Winfrey, she had something for her, and she paid Oprah Winfrey $1 million. And you know, she allegedly paid Beyonce 10 million. So that money can go fast when you're just trying to get entertainers to vouch and and validate a candidate. We're beyond that. And they're so arrogant they can't see that it's been 60 years. It's been 60 years. And to me, the people that did support her, if they're everybody they have their own reasons for the way they vote. But it was insulting to me that every time I look up is an entertainer. She's having a rally with a bunch of entertainers, coming out there speaking up for her, but she's not talking about policies. She's not talking about what she's going to do when she gets elected about the border. All she says is, well, Trump, he used his influence to get the Congress not to pass a bill, but it was reasons for that. And to me, you have people, I'm gonna be straight up. Some people, they make decisions off of not enough information. You got one, I'm gonna give a prime example. Yesterday on Facebook, you had a sound bite with a few unintelligent and uninformed individuals making comments about how tariffs is not going to be a good thing when if tariffs, like I say, if Trump get in, put tariff on China or whatever, trade, that's not good for the country. That's limited information. So I can't let, it was just, I'm like, okay. And then, people are in their feelings, they don't like it. It's about like with some people. Me, it's not about like, it's about policies. And you can't put a person in office based off of whether you like them or not. Because they could do anything. And then when the shit hit the fan, people complaining. No. But they're the ones that's in their feelings. They're in their feelings, and it ain't about feelings. It's about what you're going to do. What you going to do when you get in there? You know what I'm saying? So, that being said, this is my first live and my first video in a minute. Make sure I got everything where it's supposed to be. I got my mic turned up. We good. But yeah, it's been a lot of fallout. Videos of women cutting their hair off, talking about they not dating men anymore and not giving up no more sex and this and that and blah blah blah. It is hilarious and sad at the same time. It's hilarious because what is wrong with mental? What is going on? There's some people need to go seek counseling or something, man. But here's what I think it is. You have a lot of people that they can operate their lives a certain way because this party has gone too far to the left. So you have, I think, some people that are a part of certain communities, they're upset because they know that when Trump come in, he's not he's not going to cater to them. The Democratic Party, I moved to slightly right of center as the Democratic Party kept moving way left, way left. It's like they don't want restrictions on abortion. See, my channel not monetized, so I can pretty much say what I want to. They don't want restriction. They don't want to put restrictions. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And in order for them to regain the trust of the people that's been leaving, that have left the Democratic Party, they're gonna have to move back close to center. They're gonna have to abandon the far left. I know they're gonna hate to do it, and it's gonna take them to lose another 4 or 5 election cycles. It may not. Okay, you have Donald Trump's vice president pick. He a young dude. He's young, and if he picks Brian Donald, and they'll never if with Brian Donald and the president vice president on the ticket together, it'll be a minute because they're younger. They're younger. See, the old cats, they got to get out the way. They don't want to get out the way. The old cats got to get out the way and let the young people run it. You got to let the millennials and Gen Z run the country. So when this 4 years, because I always try to think ahead. Okay, he's going to move things back in line. In these 4 years, there's a whole lot of things are going to change. He's going to put Americans first, and it's one thing. It's not about what a candidate says. It's about what they does, what they do. And he came out. He's come out talking about what he wants to do about illegal immigration. And he put his borders are already in there, and this guy is not playing. He ain't playing no games. So they're upset about that. Is that the Democratic Party? They went too far left. I mean, and I let's say 20 years ago, I may be a little more liberal because I was younger, but as I saw things, that I'm like, whoa, you know, things that are affecting young children. I think, going off of how I was raised, my parents didn't expose me to any and everything. We were sheltered, not too sheltered, but things like sex, we didn't know that what that was until we were damn near teenagers, because they had control over what we saw, over what we were exposed to. Now, of course, we didn't have all this information. We didn't have cable TV. We didn't have internet. But still, there are certain things that children shouldn't be exposed to. And once you turn 18, you can make your own decisions about your body or whatever. But they've gone too far trying to take um, parents' parental permissions away or whatever, as far as like making decisions for their children that they birth, that they take care of or whatever. You know, confusing them at an early age, talking about you may be in the wrong. But come on, man, no, I can't deal with that. So I'm not necessarily a mega guy. So I was like, okay, I'm leaving the Democratic Party. So I registered as an independent. And so I have that freedom. So it's like I'm in the middle. It's like I can look at the Republicans and say, what are you going to do for my vote? And then look at the Democrats and say the same thing. But the Democrat Party is in trouble. They're in free fall without a without a, there's not a net on the bottom or a parachute above, and they're just falling. No one wants to say, look, we got to go back and regroup. You know, they sent out President Obama and his wife to to whip us back into shape and whatnot. And they came out talking all kind of greasy to black men. All these tactics, shaming tactics, gaslighting. Um, no, man, no. I mean, she wasted all that money on getting entertainers. It's like, to me, it's insulting because, okay, we can't think for ourselves. We can't think analytically. We intellectually lazy or something like that. Even though there are some people that are intellectually lazy, but I was insulted, you know, and I was like, okay, when he did that, talking about, oh, you lucky Michelle's not here. I'm like, really, bruh, really? I'm like, okay. So I was really thinking about. I was like, well, shoot, I ain't going to vote for nobody. But once he did that, I was like, oh, we got to show them. We have to show them. We have to show them. We're not our grandparents or great grandparents. Stop it. Stop it. It's just, I'm like, okay, I went and handled my business with the quicks, man. No, you're not going to insult me or my intelligence or whatnot. So I'm sitting just right of center because the far left, I can't do it, man. It's just not. It's not. It's leading the country in the wrong direction. Of course, times change and people do, but as far as America, United States is concerned, we have to move things back. We have to move things back to back to where people can stomach it. And the cool part about it with me was you had people cross racial lines. You had all kinds of men to vote for Trump. All kinds of men, white women. I think the majority of black women came out for her for whatever reason. But me, identity politics. You can know. No, I know some people don't like it, but that's what it is. What it is. We can no longer send people to office based off of what they look like. Brandon Johnson in Chicago. This clown fool. He is destroying Chicago. He's destroying Chicago. I guess he got his orders from the DNC about how to deal with these migrants, giving them everything. They're buying homes. Now he wants to raise the taxes of property owners in Chicago to pay for that. All the money they run up. So it's a lot. So we can no longer send people to office because they black. That's over, man. That's over. Now they have to bear the burden for that because they did vote this clown in. Same thing with Tiffany Henyard in Thornton Township. These clowns running amok. Now I will say this about New York Mayor Eric Adams. Once once Trump won, he's like, okay. he cutting them off. He cut that money off. He cutting them cars off. He cut them cars off. Once he figured out that the Biden administration were on his side, then they sent the FBI in there to raid and do. I was like, okay, he won't go along with the program or whatever. So it's just a lot. I've been wanting to come on here and make a video. I got lazy. I'm doing some real estate things. In a few weeks, I'm gonna be closing on another house. I've just been doing some financial things, trying to get my financial weight up and whatnot. And kind of became a full time writer. I was like, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So what I'm trying to do is get a balance because I'm also a college student, pursuing a degree in health science. So I got a few things going on, but I want to come on and do more content. I had to come on and address this issue right here. Um, I said, let me go live. Have been live in a minute, but it's a lot. The Democratic Party got some work to do, and as far as I'm concerned, man, I mean, what transpired on election day, it's going to be hard for them to get back the support they once had. So um, they had a lot of support of black women this time. The next election, they may not even have that support. So they're going to have to offer something. And at this point, it's not about offering anything. It's about what are you going to do. They have to do, to me, they have to do something for us to to regain our support for them. And it's not like a promise. It's like a balloon payment. It's like if you owe some, if you owe a creditor money and they trying to get in contact with you to to set up a payment plan because you're behind, and then you keep ignoring their calls and letters. Then they send that letter in red that says, okay, well, we try to work with you. You don't want to work with us. So you owe this amount, and you owe it right now, a balloon payment. So that's the relationship we have with the Democratic Party. It's a balloon payment due now. you know, if they can't pay the balloon payment, then we just gonna have to send them to send them to the three credit bureaus and let them holler. Okay, holler at Equifax and TransUnion and holler at them. When you get right, set you on the payment plan. That's how it go, man. But I am proud to be. Of course, we got a lot of work, and it's not a thing that's gonna get us what we want overnight. But this shows them that you can't play with us, man. What? Entertainers? You can't play with us. And no one's come out and said this, well, we were wrong. No one's come out and said that we were wrong, and no one's come out and said she ran a shitty campaign, which she did. Can't answer questions, you know, can't answer straight questions, go around the question. I mean, she just wasn't a good candidate. And um you can't support people based off of what they look like. And me, the like part, I don't know her or Donald Trump, and don't care to know them. I just want, to place my vote where, I feel like my policies that I'm me is going to be met. That being said, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Been on here 20 minutes. It's been a while since I, made a video. I said let me go live. But what I was able to do was I cranked out these two books for you guys. Of course, you know about Reckoning with History, The Case for Reparations in Black America. And now we have, I don't know what's going on. This thing is, do it like this. Allegiance Misplaced, The Failure of Black Political Leadership. Reckoning with History, The Case for Reparations in Black America. These are two important topics in our time right now. So what this also does, it sends a message to these black politicians. Get down or lay down. We're not sending y'all to office to play with y'all, for y'all to play with us. So their reckoning is coming too. That being said, these books can be found on Barnes and Noble. My books are on Barnes and Noble. That being said, I'm glad I was able to spend a little time with y'all. Right about almost 30 minutes. And as I always say, try to love each other. I know it's hard. And I will holler at you guys the next time God leaves his footprints in the sky. Peace.